Bullies ripped quiet white girl's shirt in front of class. She kicked a desk and everyone went silent. They never saw her coming. The girl who sat in the farthest corner of the classroom, barely whispering when called upon, the one who never raised her hand, never joined the gossip, never tried to be seen. Her name was Emily, and she had learned early in life that silence was safer than noise. But safety is not guaranteed, not in a world that preys on the gentle, the soft-spoken, the kind. So when a sharp tear echoed through the classroom, louder than any voice she had ever used, and her shirt split from her collar down her back, the silence she had clung to all her life shattered with it. That moment changed everything. One scream wasn't enough. One gasp from the class wasn't enough. One cruel laugh from a bully wasn't enough. Because something inside her snapped, not in weakness, but in a rage so raw, it made the entire classroom freeze when she kicked a metal desk with such force it scraped across the floor and slammed into the wall. No one laughed after that. Not a single sound. Just silence, her kind of silence, but this time, it belonged to her. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, in the power of the quiet to rise stronger than anyone ever expected, then please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Echoes of Life. These stories matter. And your support helps them reach the hearts that need them most. Emily didn't always live in silence. Before the move, before the divorce, before the loss of everything familiar, she was just a girl who liked painting suns with smiling faces and dancing barefoot on the lawn while it rained. Her laughter used to echo across fields. But life has a cruel way of unraveling joy. Her father's affair tore their family apart, and her mother's descent into bitterness was swift. They packed up everything in a weekend and moved across the state, starting a new life in a new city where no one knew their past, or her pain. But pain doesn't vanish with distance. It clings. It haunts. And for Emily, it settled in her chest like fog that never lifted. The new school felt like a cage from day one. The lockers slammed louder. The stairs lingered longer. The cliques were tighter. And Emily, with her quiet voice and outdated clothes, became an easy target. She didn't fit their mold. She didn't play the part. And in high school, that's all it takes to be devoured. The worst of them was Rachel, a girl who ruled the hallways with a sneer behind a perfect smile. She had everything, money, beauty, a crowd that followed her like shadows. But beneath the surface, Rachel craved power, and power feeds on weakness. Or at least, what looks like weakness. It began slowly. A cruel nickname here, a snatched notebook there. Gum in her hair. Water, accidentally, spilled on her backpack. Emily endured each act with bowed shoulders and tearless eyes. She buried the pain in her drawings, sketching trees and rivers and girls with wings in the margins of her notebooks. But art can't heal what the world keeps breaking. And the cruelty only escalated. There was a time Emily nearly told someone. A counselor, maybe. But every time she stood outside the office door, fear would tighten around her throat like a noose. She couldn't find the words. She feared being dismissed. Or worse, being seen as even weaker. So, she stayed silent. She stopped answering questions in class. She walked with her head down. She shrank into the shadows, hoping to disappear. But some people don't let others vanish. Rachel made sure of that. The incident happened on a rainy Tuesday. Emily had worn her best shirt, white, clean, slightly oversized, with tiny embroidered flowers along the collar. She loved that shirt. It made her feel safe. She'd even smiled a little that morning in the mirror, something rare in recent months. The classroom buzzed with noise as the teacher left to grab some papers. Rachel leaned over and whispered something cruel, and her followers laughed. Then, with a sudden, vicious tug, Rachel grabbed the back of Emily's shirt and yanked hard. The fabric tore. It echoed. The class went silent. Emily felt the cold air rush against her exposed skin. Her heart thundered. Her arms froze. She could hear the stifled laughs, the shocked gasps, and the sharp, delighted sound of a phone recording. In that moment, she felt herself unravel. But not in fear. Not in shame. In fire. She stood up. Not slowly. Not weakly. She walked to the front of the class with steady steps. Her eyes stared straight ahead, not at Rachel, not at the crowd, but at something no one else could see. And then she kicked. The desk slammed against the wall like a thunderclap. Pens scattered. The chalkboard cracked. And the silence that followed wasn't awkward, it was afraid. Rachel's face went pale. No one laughed now. Not a sound. And then Emily spoke. Her voice wasn't loud. But it was sharp. Controlled. Dangerous. She said 5 words that no one would ever forget: "Touch me again, I dare you." The teacher returned moments later to a room frozen in tension. The aftermath unraveled quickly. The footage spread like wildfire, not to mock her, but to praise her. Emily didn't face punishment. Rachel did. The principal suspended her. Her parents threatened lawsuits. But the truth was too loud. The world had seen what she did. And suddenly, everything changed. Emily's voice returned, but it wasn't the same one she'd buried. It was stronger. Steadier. She began speaking in class. Her essays grew bolder. Her art grew darker, more raw. People started noticing her, not with pity, but with awe. A girl who had been broken now walked through halls with steel in her spine. Some students apologized. Some kept their distance. But Emily didn't care. She wasn't interested in being liked anymore. She was interested in being. The biggest change came from within. She began therapy. She confronted her own reflections, the ones that told her she deserved it. She silenced them, too. Her mother softened over time, watching her daughter rise. They talked more. They healed. Slowly. Months later, Emily stood on a stage at the school's art exhibit. She unveiled her final piece, a painting of a girl standing barefoot in a storm, her shirt torn, but her face fierce, unflinching. She named it, Reborn. The auditorium gave her a standing ovation. Rachel never returned to that school. But Emily didn't need revenge. Her victory was bigger than that. It was survival. It was resurrection. If this story moved your heart, if you felt her pain, her rise, her transformation, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Echoes of Life. Your support breathes life into stories like these, and reminds the world that even the quietest souls carry thunder within them. And before we end, drop a comment below. Tell us, have you ever been underestimated? Silenced? Or found strength when no one believed in you? Your story matters. Share it. Someone out there needs to read your words. Because sometimes, the quietest girl in the room has the loudest fire inside her. And once it's lit, it never goes out.